interview with the campus selection committee that evaluates each applicant before we put that person forward to IIE. So once you've been through our process, which is very rigorous, you will then be part of the IIE Fulbright process. You see at the bottom there, the National Screening Committee. They take the first look. For everyone who applies from around the country, you are competing with students from around the country from every university. So you name it, they have just as many applying or more. NYU has 50 applicants they put forward a year. I just learned that the other day. How many nationally applied? I think it was like 3,600. Then the committee puts forward finalists, and then those finalists get sent to the countries for consideration. And then the country makes a decision, and that news, you can see, sometimes doesn't come till May. We're still waiting to hear about our finalists from this year. We had 6 finalists who made it through the National Screening Committee, and we're still waiting to hear how we're doing with those 6. Then technically speaking, the Fulbright Foreign Scholarship Board kind of gives a stamp of approval on the people who are selected by the country committees. So that is good. But the important information you have, because we put the PACE deadlines there. You can look at some information on the IIE website. We have a little bit more info. We'll have our deadlines up there, but we'll also be in touch with you all the time, reminding you about deadlines. And you can hear the resources for things that you can learn on the website, which I've already mentioned. One of the things that you're encouraged to do is, if you're seriously thinking about going through this process, is to set up through Teresa an appointment with me so I can help you start thinking about how to prepare an application this summer. Because if you come back in the fall, your last year here at PACE, and think that you can pull something together in September, it's not going to happen. You really need to be thinking about it this summer. I give you homework so that you can start preparing, because many of you might need to take an extra semester of the language, you might need to go get some more community involvement, and you still have time to do it before the grant would start. And so that's why it's important for you to try and set up some time with me so I can give you some guidance and we can explore the different countries that you might be considering. So I'm going to end this part and and you need to use the mic so that the people on the computer can hear it. Okay.
Can you, how do you back up? I want to go back to the screens. Keep going, keep going. I want to see the screenshot of the basic screen.
Of the application?
Yeah, that's fine. That one's fine. Okay. First of all, why do this? Okay.
Oh, I forgot that. Thank you.
Aside from getting to spend a year overseas in a country of your choice, how many of you have a country you would like to spend a year in after you graduate? Raise your hands. You already know which country you want to go to. Great. How many of you just want to get out of the country? It doesn't matter where. Okay, there we go. I knew there were some. Okay. You get a full academic year paid by the U.S. government in a country of your choice if you win. But after you return, and the Fulbright people do want you to return, they don't like people just staying there forever, you have a stamp of approval of smartness that will follow you for the rest of your life. The Fulbright name on a resume gets you into a class, an elite class of smart people that you will instantly be recognized. So you might have a 3.9 from PACE, you might graduate summa cum laude. It doesn't mean as much for the rest of your life as having been a Fulbright scholar. And that is a stamp that will follow you forever. So why do it? Aside from the immediate benefits, there are immense long-term benefits from being a Fulbright scholar. Second question to relate to here is what I call TMI. Too much information. You're getting too much information today. Your eyes will glaze over. Also an abbreviation called MIGO. My eyes glaze over. The first place you should go is on this screenshot here. It's from the website fulbrightonline.org. How many of you have been to fulbrightonline.org? How many have you? Okay, keep your hands up who've done it. How many of you have clicked on thinking of applying? How many of you have clicked on your country that you are interested in going to? Hands are going down. How many of you have clicked on, under that country, not merely the description, but previous grant winners and what their topics were? Okay? How many of you have looked through to all the information about the application itself? All right, we're down to about a quarter. All right? Your first piece of homework, if you are interested in doing this, is to go, and it is contained on this sheet which says Fulbright Fellowships Information Sheet, except the U.S. is misplaced in that. It's fulbrightonline.org. You must go. You must know the particulars of the country you are applying to, because each country is looking for certain different types of people, whether to do different sorts of research or different teaching of English, different places, different cultures, different languages. Every country is unique. And when you settle on the country you're applying for, you must fit their profile in order to win. You must look at previously successful candidates, especially if you are doing research proposals. And one place you can look for previously successful candidates is, again, on this handout. We have a library full of digital copies of successful applicants. Okay? We didn't put the losers up there, only the winners. You need to read as samples. This is not cheating. This is not plagiarism. We call it inspiration. This is the way to figure out how to write a good application. So before you get too far down the road on this, your stuff can be done without talking to another human being. Research the country. Research what they're looking for. See if you fit what type. Some people want history, some people want business, some people want anthropology, some people just want teachers of English. You need to find out if the country you want to go to has the type of grant they're looking for that fits your particular capacities, and you want to look at previously written applications either in the country or the topic, the subject area that you are interested in. So my job, after you've done all that, my job is to shorten the odds, to give you a better chance of winning. The overall odds at this competition are about 1 in 5, about 20% win. But that, as Christine indicated, vary widely. The longest odds are for countries of English-speaking only, because Americans tend to be monoglots, and they tend not to know foreign languages, and thus people who want to go overseas apply for all English-speaking. The hardest competition historically has been to go to the United Kingdom. You want to go to England? Good luck. I wish you well. We'll try to talk you out of it, because the chances are so slim to get to England. If you have a language that is not English or Spanish, you're in much better. Spanish is the second most popular. Spanish-speaking countries are the second most heavily competitive group. But if you know a language that is not heavily spoken in the United States, this will give you an advantage, especially if it is one of these, and they talk about the Critical Language Awards, one of these countries where the United States doesn't, Eastern European, Arabic, East Asian, some of those languages, Central Asian, they are very, very lacking, and we want people to connect to those countries. So, picking a country must match. Your first tip, it must match your strengths, your linguistic strengths, your research strengths. If you're thinking about teaching of English, whether you've done any teaching. If you want to teach English, you could be a tutor, you could have worked Sunday school, you could have worked in our counseling center. So long as you have some teaching experience at some level, that will get you over that hurdle. If you have no teaching experience, teaching English may not be the best place for you to apply. You have to match with the country and also the specifics